All right, are we ready? Are we ready?
We're ready.
Are we live? Is this thing on?
It is
Saturday night. Okay, sorry. I'm ready.
We are hype tonight. Well, welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things. I'm doing something a little different with my hands today because I just want to make sure that you all can hear me. But this is the podcast you all should know. Say it with me. We are on some Manifest Your Life, Shift Your Mind, and Raise the Consciousness
type of shit.
I'm Christie.
And I am Mia. And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour. You're welcome. You just got blessed. Okay. So, go ahead, Christy. What are we doing today? I'm excited, you guys.
Okay, so last week, am I talking about? Yeah, we're looking at the same thing. Are you looking at? Oh, you don't have your computer.
It's right there.
Oh, it's okay. So you're gonna.
Oh, I knew that. Okay, first of all, y'all, I apologize beforehand. So, last week we talked about duality. And we discussed how everything exists in all. And how in our life, when we don't address our duality, because it was kind of a continuation of our shadow work episode. Not addressing the duality in you, basically you're putting more emphasis on it. So This is basically just like accept everything that you are, because everything is in you just as in the universe. So that's what we talked about last week. If you haven't heard it, please listen in to episode 12. It was a lot of fun. But today we got some fun stuff too, and I'm excited.
We are both really excited about this. So today is a special episode, and for those who follow us on Instagram or who are checking our stories, you know at this point that this is actually a special episode and one of the first of many more to come, because we plan on adding this to our I guess list of episodes or ideas.
Our repertoire.
But we have a guest on our show who we will be interviewing today.
So we've talked about this before, guys. It's our desire to be able to provide you guys with a variety of experiences from people in different places, backgrounds, and everything on their spiritual journey, because we want you all to be able to hear yourself in some of these stories. Right. So that's why we have our fun guest today. So come on.
Yes. Me and I have shared our journeys, but we wanted to invite a friend who, will share her journey with you guys. And we are so excited. We are so grateful. I'm feeling hype. I'm feeling pumped to announce that we have our friend Shannon.
Hey. Hello.
Welcome, Shannon. So we are so happy to have you on Two Queens and Crystal Things. And so this episode is special. This is a special one because, one, this is going to be our first interview.
We have a guest.
And, so just how the evening will go is that we have a series of questions to ask. And in our Two Queens and Crystal Things fashion, we are just going to simply have a discussion.
We're going to have a ball.
It's going
to get real.
A couple sips of some bubbly and a couple of sips of some wine.
So, and a little snacky.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Shannon.
Yes.
So I want to start off, we're going to have her introduce herself, but I want you to give us your sun sign. Your sun sign. Do you know your rising? Okay, so your horoscope, your sun sign, the first thing you do in the morning,
okay,
and what's the craziest thing you ever did in the name of love?
Ooh.
We about to get to know her real fast, y'all. I like to cut through it.
So I wasn't even ready for that, but I guess I have to be now. Okay, you just made me sit straight up.
Shannon's over here. Look, she's pondering.
So my sun sign, I'm a Pisces.
Okay. So water babies.
Water, yes. That is like a love. That is a spiritual bath for me every single time. I can feel it. Water. So Pisces. And then your second question was...
First thing you do in the morning.
First thing I do in the morning is sort of look at my brain and say, what's the plan for the day? Kind of a review. But the first thing I actually do once I step out of bed, or sometimes in bed, is I actually meditate. That's the first thing I do every day.
All right.
So,
That's what's up.
yes.
Now the real get to know you question.
The most wild thing I've done
In the name of love.
in the name of love.
In the name of love.
Can you share this?
I don't even know what I've done. And
The lies you tell.
it's supposed to be like. I was trying to think of something good. But I'm thinking,
Look, I'm like, I know I've done something.
can we fight people in the name?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it can be
Climb
love,
climb balconies.
love.
Yes. I mean, I'm just not saying. I'm just saying it could be. Oh yeah, you definitely fight people in the name of
Yeah,
love.
so I've done a little tit for tat a couple of times here and there in the name of love, but it wasn't over the person per se. It was really principle.
It's
It
always
was
the
principle
principality.
thing,
Not about the person.
not about the individual.
It's the principality. I
Yes.
feel that.
Yeah. So
Just to warm you up.
yeah.
Now you're open.
So I
Let's
had to
do
reach
this.
out these calls in the name of love. Yes.
Pisces, and she will fight you.
That's what we know now.
I mean, in the name of love.
She's emotional.
In
She
the name
loves
of
love, and
love.
she'll fight for it. Okay, that's all we need to know. We can lock this up.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I do have a question.
So let's get into it. She open now. Come on, y'all.
Ask all the questions. Okay. So we would like to know how you started your spiritual journey. So a lot of people say that there's this period of darkness where it's called like the darkness of the soul. We don't like to use that term. I kind of look at it as like, the valley, the ups and the downs.
Crises.
Pisces?
Crises.
Oh, crises, yes. But, people say that in this particular phase, this is kind of like the catalyst to, starting a person's spiritual journey. So what would you say is yours, and what started you?
So that's an easy question for me. It's kind of two parts. So I do remember being a young girl and being so connected spiritually. I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. I'm from Houston, Texas. So that was one piece. Like I knew that I had a deep connection because the old people would always say, "Let that baby sing," or or they would be like, "Will you pray?" And so I knew that I.
Wait, the elders would come to you and ask you to pray for them?
Asked me to pray. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. The elders,
Yeah, girl, that's a thing. Yeah.
They'd be, they would ask me to sing or they would ask me to pray, and so that's, really how it started. But I think I was also listening to my intuition pretty early on, and then somewhere there became a cloud. Like I wouldn't say I lost it, I just was not connected to it anymore.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And
I know how that is.
so, I mean, in relation to what Christie said in her introduction of sort of why, people sort of have, transformations, my transformation did come at a sort of a tragic time for me. I had a son, his name is King Zakai, and he passed away when he was a baby. And in that time, I mean, I went through all of the grief stages, including mad at the universe, God, Holy Spirit. I just was not having it at all.
No.
And so in that, I just started, it made me get quiet. It just forced me to get quiet. I literally sort of picked up my life in Chicago, moved back to Houston, sat on my mama's couch for quite some time. And then one day I was like, I'm still sitting on this couch. And life was just happening, and I was literally sitting on the couch. And so in that, I realized that I just was searching for like some sort of solace and some sort of answer. And in my search for answers, I went to a reader. So my first reading, she was saying that certain people...
Houston?
No, the reading actually I came back to Chicago for a weekend.
Okay.
Happened in Chicago at the Ruby Room, actually.
Ah!
And so from there... in the reading, she's saying, "Oh, there's a boy spirit who is coming to talk to you, and your grandmother is saying this." Like all these, people who have passed on are coming through this reading, and I thought it was fascinating and like very powerful, and it moved me to take action in terms of. The first thing I did was she said they want you to connect with them more. I'm like, what does that mean? And she was like, oh, that's meditation. So I started to meditate consistently since probably that day. I've been meditating, but it's grown, right? It grew from 5 minutes to now I probably can meditate up to easily 2 hours, depending on the space and time.
How long ago was this?
My son passed away in 2010.
2010. What are you 20?
Yeah, so it's 10 years, almost 10 years ago now. So yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. So that was my my initiation into this work.
Ooh, I love it.
In this space that we're in now. So yeah.
So as Christy was, so it does seem like that there was a crisis that kind of started off this journey.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I want. Okay, question. See, she's blowing up her phone. Oh wait, or is that your phone, Christy?
No, it's not mine.
Wait.
Okay, it was
That
mine,
sounds
but
like
I
Shannon.
turned it off.
I was about to say,
me turning it on.
Wait, I was like, wait, let me turn mine off before I start talking mess. No, I'm joking. So
you guys already know we don't edit.
No, we don't. So has your journey? So you're a good 10 years in. You are definitely further along the line than I would say that I am at this point.
Me too.
How has the journey changed how you see yourself?
So I would say that is an excellent question. The journey in terms of how I see myself. Initially, even meditating, I knew it just made me get quiet, and I felt like I could get answers through the meditation. Now, fast forward 10 years later, I know my power. I know who I am. I know the abilities and the skills that I have. I know which modalities I'm interested in terms of being able to know myself and others. And it's like walking in your truth and walking in your confidence in a way that was like, baby, I have this experience you can't tell me about.
Okay.
So when people say, I have, the Holy Spirit, or I have, the gift, when people know, they know, and that's where I am at this point.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love this. Right, I did just get chills. I see why the elders was coming for the baby.
Right. Make sure she prays for me.
Just be like, baby, come here, little baby, come pray over me because I can see it. If you met someone who is about to go through the exact same journey, like just like literally the exact same journey that you are on, but they were 10 years ago at that spot on their mama's couch. What would be your most important piece of advice? What would you tell them?
Oh, I have that advice, and I even, this is something that as I reflect, that one, your intuition is right the first time. Always. 100%. And so earlier on, it's like you question, you need reassurance, confirmation. Was that really what you were trying to say to me? You go through these things to figure it out. And you're like, wait a minute, no, that was it.
Why are you calling somebody on this table out like that? I'm not going to say no names, but somebody, I'm like, she called you out. Okay, yes.
So that is what I would say is it's right the first time. Trust it so you don't waste the time in moving forward, because you're going to still move forward. It's just it's ready when it tells you.
I love it.
See that
Yeah. I like that.
So I do have a question for you.
Okay.
I do have a question for you.
I think this is around like episode 1 because I'm trying to. Okay, so let me think. So knowing that you have these gifts and knowing you're able to accept yourself, who you are. Like, when did
That's
you
some
get
dope
to that
shit.
point where you finally just said, you know what, this is who I am.
Yes.
This is who I'm embracing. I am coming out of the closet, like being straight up and not, because I found that sometimes I hide my crystals from people because people have this like, oh, are you a witch? Like, what are you? What do you do with those crystals?
You know how long it takes me to hide crystals in my house? It is. But I understand that though. If you can't accept who I am, guess what you cannot do? Come to my motherfucking house. Like, just don't come.
That's why a lot of people don't come to mine.
But I think, what Christy's talking about, I think, is that when you step into a different realm of spiritual space that people aren't familiar with, you, as the spiritual person who is connected, feel a sense of sort of defending what you're doing or sort of affirming what you're doing when you know it's right.
Yes.
Right? And I'm sorry, but you're the one that's woke, and everyone else is not woke, right? In the sense of like being able to step forward in the true sense of spirit, not religion, and not these other the rituals of like religion and being disconnected, because all of us know people who go to a service or go to quote unquote church, right?
Yep.
And nothing has changed in 20, 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Still the same.
Yes. Wait a minute.
That's because you're not connected.
please tell our listeners what you mean when you say true sense of spirit.
The true sense of spirit is knowing that spirit is guiding you. You're listening to the guidance, and not only just listening, but you're willing to take action on the guidance. Spirit will lead you to pick out what pair of shoes to wear.
Absolutely.
Spirit will lead you to every single aspect of your life. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like, oh, Spirit will lead me to meditate, and Spirit will lead me to, to do a ceremony or a ritual. Spirit speaks at all times. It tells you where to go, when to go,
and
how
that's
to go, when to stop.
I love this.
Yes.
Because we talk about this all the time, just in terms of people understanding that you are never alone. And again, I'm not trying to poo-poo on religion or rituals or anything like that, but the difference is when I am trained that I go to church on Sunday for 3 hours or however long I'm going to be there, and that's my connection to spirit. Then when I walk out, I'm not connected anymore. But that's why I wanted you to answer that. Like when you are truly connected to spirit, it's like they stay with me. What are we talking about? Like all the time. So
at all times, you should be able to say, even when you have like, what should I do? You might have to ask the question, what did you say again? And what do I need to do? Spirit will always show up. Remind you. It will show you.
Come on.
Even today, I was when I was coming here, I was looking for a pair of shoes, right? And I was like, now I never moved my shoes in my closet. And I remember I went out of town for this weekend, and I tried on those shoes before I left. I was like, oh, I must have taken that shoe down. As soon as I said, I thought I was like, can you help me find my shoe? Boom, shoe was there. Thank you. I have all those shoes here now. So yes, anything you can ask Spirit for it, because Spirit is always there.
Well, I need Spirit to find my vape. I lost my marijuana pen and I forgot to ask. You know what? I'm so glad you said that. I forgot to ask because I'm like, it just disappeared. I'm just out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Christy, you got anything? Okay. I got one. Okay. In the last 10 years.
Okay.
I know you have been through some valleys and some mountaintops.
Absolutely, yeah.
But is there anything in this cycle that has completely took you by surprise, that kind of took you back a little bit, like, well, okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Yes. And let me see. So Mia's asking this question, but then my thought goes to what Christy was saying in terms of walking fully in your full capacity of who you are and in your truth and in your spirit. Mm-hmm. And my answer is not for people who are questioning, right? And if you are questioning, that's fine. But my answer is my answer because it's my truth, right? So my healing abilities, I did not I remember 3 years ago doing a meditation and the Spirit showing my hands glowing, right? Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a healer. Oh, okay. They're like glowing in this meditation, and they're glowing in this sort of journey and experience that I had, but I really wasn't sure what to do with that, right? Woo!
Come on.
Since then, I can channel Spirit to put the healing in my hands. Mm-hmm. So I can literally heal people just by reaching into your spirit, sitting with you. Distance, I can be at home and you can be in Houston or wherever, and I can say, oh, so and so needs to be healed, and I have witnesses and I don't need any my own self, but I'm saying I have witnesses who are like, oh, can you pray for so and so? Because in terms of that coming to life, like literally feeling my hand be filled with the Spirit.
I just want you to think about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our life, people can see our gifts on us before we see them. Mm-hmm. And when I'm telling you, like them elders doing, that's a thing. They saw the healing Spirit on you way before you even knew that was a thing. Yeah. But I have it. Like that meditation where it just kind of see her talking about it. Literally, my hands are on fire. It's green light always shooting out my hands. It's like when I'm in meditation mode. And one time I was reading a book late at night, and you do it. I'm always reading late at night. I'm too old. I need to stop doing that. And I'm doing this, and I'm looking, and I'm like, where is green light coming off my finger? I'm like. And I'm like, took my hand back, like, am I tweaking? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
But so the awakening is, because I really do believe that in all of us in some way, shape, or form have some healing abilities, and whether that be and however it is that your healing comes through. Some people with their hands, some people with their voice. Like I legitimately think there's singers who, through their voice, the way, they can put.
Yes, your spirit can be touched through so many things.
Through so many things. And you can see it on other people. I've been telling Christy from the first day I met her, I'm like, oh, you're a healer. Like, literally.
I would.
You can feel the
No, I'm not.
Sure she is.
Yeah,
because
she is.
I've had one of her crystal healings and got off that table and was like, what was under the table? Was that a vortex? I felt lifted and elevated.
Where did I just go?
So she definitely has the gift. Yeah, so she's gifted, certainly.
Shout out to those who booked with me. Thank you, guys.
Yes, and those who haven't should.
All right, so I do have a question.
Yeah.
So, how okay. Because we did talk about relationships. So how does your spirituality, how does that impact your current relationship? Whether it's intimate or platonic.
Oh, okay, well, when I think about that question, are we talking about males or like my romantic relationships?
It can be intimate or platonic.
Intimate or platonic.
I'm talking about intimate. Now I don't care about your little regular friends. I'm joking.
She was just playing.
They know I'm joking.
I love y'all. So this is, I'm going to go back to Christie. So I'm fully walking who I am, and my current life partner says to me all the time, I just see it, and he comes to me now asking me questions or to do work for him, or can you make this happen? I'm like, okay, boo, I got you.
I got you, boo.
So now it's a respect, actually. I would say probably earlier on, the first few years, I would kind of say, not that I was hiding it, but I wasn't trying to put it in the forefront because I wasn't sure if he was going to say, are you doing hokey pokey? Exactly, what the heck is going on? And I think he still saw that, and then I just started to walk in. If you're going to be with me, you have to fully understand who I am, and I'm not going to sort of suppress who I am, suppress myself. To make you feel
I am not about to abandon my divinity to make you feel better.
Abandon my divinity. I'm still in that.
Period. Point blank. You got it, girl.
Okay. What she said.
But honestly though, it's almost like as soon as you release any type of pretense, didn't that shit just get better? Yes. Like it just elevated to it. Like I get to for real just be all up in my glory.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I can't wait. Y'all know I'm still single.
Well, yeah, I mean, even this weekend, where once I got back from my time away, I was saying that I want to take my sort of love making and love relationship to another level, using tantra or using sort of ceremonial medicine to see what that might do or how that might feel.
Ceremonial medicine.
Let me dibble on that. I need a commercial break. I got to make a few phone calls.
And sex test.
I want a ceremonial dibble dabble. What you W-Y-D? Woo. Shannon about to get randoms call. Okay, all right now. Okay.
I'm all for that.
Wait, I need to pour a little bit more. Hold on. I need to cool myself down. She's hot. She's hot.
Yeah, I feel like drinking is going to make me hot.
Here, you want this?
I have a little more.
You need a little bit more dibble in your dabble. Wait, I can't. You got to. Thank you, Shannon. Okay. So, Shannon today, powerful, standing in her glory, accepting all of the lovely, divine, feminine warrior that she is. Stop playing with her. I have a question now.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is real. Because this happens to a lot of people in their journey, and I know it happens to me, and I know it happens to. You ever feel like you get to a point where you feel like, what just happened? Like you start going backwards. Like what did they used to call backslide?
Yes, backslide.
You know, like, and when you do, how do you get your, because it's still a journey, y'all.
Look, 3 days ago.
Come on.
And so I literally so I have a specific deity that I work with that is of the Ifa tradition. And she bad, and I love her in all her ways, and she has really advanced my life spiritually in ways that I couldn't imagine, but I did ask for. And at
asking
the end,
you shall receive.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And then I had this great experience with her. I mean, a great, just marveling experience. And then I saw her literally walk out the door, and I said, "Where you going?" And I thought she was leaving me. I thought like she was saying, "The work here is done. I'm leaving." And I was just like, it was like dead space. It was like, I'm not connected. What's going on? Oh my God. And I was not panicking, but I was like about to beg her. Like,
you're like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm like, so I was like, okay, I started asking questions. What's going on? Why are you leaving? I didn't feel like you were with me for a moment. And then the next day, and then I felt that for enough to be very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And then the next day I did my meditation, and she came to my meditation and said, "Daughter, all is well." Ooh. And so I was just like, I cried like, "Oh my God, I thought you were leaving me. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I did something disrespectful." And I was like, was I disrespectful? Because I remember in a moment being a little arrogant. And I remember going to the Holy Spirit and apologizing because I wasn't sure if I had not stepped out of my boundaries, but I did feel like maybe I had gained some cockiness and was a little disrespectful of the work that was being done through me. And so I was like, I need to back up. You know what I mean? Let me humble myself and be clear about this.
Well, we got to snatch yourself back real quick.
Yeah. You think not that you think you're doing the work, but you want to make sure that at all times you know that the work has been done through you and with you. Not, you know what I mean?
But the fact that you can step back and check yourself,
absolutely.
Yes.
And this is the thing about being humble too. And we always talk about this. I'm always Chris and I always talk about like, look, I know that I am just a channel and a vessel. I don't like, we talked about this before. I don't want like a crew or followers, or you know what I mean. It's like that's not my job is, and we talked about our purpose. My purpose is to help people, remind them who they are and the power they have to help them heal themselves. I want you to remember, like, no, you could do this. You got this. Let's remind, open up, unlock that code. Okay, you back, you ready, good. Now go heal yourself.
Right.
Kind of that catcher and release. But I always want to remain humble. But this is the thing: when you connected to spirit, you're so confident that you can be humble. It's like this, like...
Okay, now you need to say that. This is about to be the quote that I'm going to post. Can you say that one more again?
I said, when you are connected to spirit, you are so confident that you can be humble. Because it's like, I know who I am. And so I don't have to, there's no ego in that.
Ooh,
I don't have to prove who I am and what I have and my gifts. Like, actually, let me share it with you.
Let me share it.
This is not, you know what I mean? And so because you're connected, it's like, I know who I am. I can sit back and realize I don't have to prove nothing.
Yes. And honestly, I don't know if that is with maturity or what it is, but I am in that space. Like, I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anybody.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
I don't care.
I ain't got it. And it's not even angry. And it's not like angry or mad. It's just like I don't have the fucks to give, and I try. I can. No. Let me check under my bed. Maybe they're under the bed. No, they gone. They just not there. And you know what? I'm okay with that. But it allows you to be humble. Just like, okay. Like, you don't know what you're talking about? Okay.
Right.
I do not care if somebody sit up here and tell me the sky is red and you are actually a baboon.
Right.
I am.
Right.
I'm just not about to but it allows you to be humble. Whereas before, I would feel like I have to prove myself, and like, especially if somebody is wrong or they wronged you. Not only do I have to show you that you wronged me, then I have to show you like. No,
you don't.
Like, no, that's legitimate. Your job when you are being wronged, you can't control what another motherfucker does. All you can do is control how you gonna react. So it is not my job to make sure you know what you did to me, mother. No.
It's not my job to take on someone else's feelings about something that they've done. Like, that's not my responsibility.
Preach.
No, that's a life lesson. What you just said.
Like, seriously,
real, because some people will try to make you feel guilty and have you trying to feel a certain way, and it's just like, yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this is making what Mia said about walking in your truth, and Christie's point about not taking on other people's stuff when you don't have to. Like, really, that stuff is stuff we make up. Like,
yes,
it's for me to consider myself in every relationship I'm in, whether it's platonic or romantic, right? Like, I do what's best for me. Now, if that doesn't work for you, then that's something for you to consider for yourself. Yep. But both of those things, or all of those things, are working for me. Which is why I choose them. So I think that remembering that we have choice.
Free will,
and free will in all things.
All the time.
Yeah.
Actually, look, I'm like, good question. What happens? So have you experienced or been through where sometimes your free will isn't in alignment with what your spirit says?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say primarily for me, business. So a lot of my business ideas are like, oh, I think I'd be good at that. Oh, that is so pretty. Like, I recognize things, outside of myself. But then I've asked Spirit, I'm like, what you mean I'm not going to be able to do that? I swear I'm good at it.
Like a little kid, but.
Exactly. I can't have that? What?
Why? Wait. No, baby, that's not in alignment with you.
But that is not in alignment. Yes, you can, but it's not gonna be smooth. It's not gonna it's not gonna come with ease. So yeah, I've had that question multiple times, many times. Yeah, like,
see, guys,
people like
no matter where you are in the journey, it is not. It's not just A+ and everything is awesome and great. And I'm so glad that we have Shannon here, who's a decade in, coming with some wisdom, but still saying like, y'all, it's ups and downs to this. Yeah. Give yourself some grace. Like, damn.
Grace is huge. That's
huge. Like, just try it for yourself. Yeah, and forgive yourself. It's okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind sharing, if you feel comfortable, what are some rituals you have that you wouldn't mind sharing with the listeners?
Because you mentioned the deity that you work with, and so I, you do a lot of ancestral, but I want you to tell us, like, seriously,
tell the people,
share with the people what you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay, I feel comfortable sharing because it is who I am. Two things, more than two things. Probably, I would say that's been an evolution, right? Mm-hmm. So starting out, it's been an evolution of the spiritual journey, and in terms of like where I am now, really is a process that began about 1.5 years ago. So I'm fairly new into this newer phase but I have grown so much in a 1.5 years than I probably did, the 4 years total prior to that.
Right.
And so right now, I find a lot of power in a lot of different modalities, that people use. But what I specifically use is I do a lot of spiritual baths. Mm-hmm. And specifically because I'm a water sign, I can literally get filled, and also I guess get rid of some of the extra things that don't need to be on me that I take on sometimes. And so the bath is sort of my yin and my yang. I can use it for some positive things and also to get rid of some things to sort of cleanse
duality.
Me. Yes.
Sorry. It all full circle.
Spiritual baths are, I meditate in the bath. I do, I basically love on myself in the bathtub, and that's very powerful for me. If I'm going to do anything spiritual, especially with other people, I generally have to take a bath prior to that.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other thing.
What about after?
I usually, depending on the energy, matters for after.
Okay.
So if it's energy that I felt that is really high vibrational, good energy, I don't have to run to the tub. No, but immediately, if it's bad energy, it's immediate. I have to hop right in.
Interesting.
You talking about sex?
No, I'm talking about all energies, including sexual energy.
Excuse me. Only fucking Christie. Wait, she's like, wait, are we talking about fucking, wait, what happened? Wait, so the bad energy, wait, what happened?
You talking about before and after?
Right.
Wait. And after. Christy, we gonna talk about some sex tomorrow because Christy got to get some shit off her chest.
Apparently,
we're gonna get into that, okay, guys? I promise you.
I'm sorry. I thought you were.
No, I mean all things, all people, all levels, all spirits. So yeah, and then I would say, consistently. Just to think about it, I'm grateful. You know, one of my most consistent in my home rituals that I practice is each week is my altar, is dedication to my altar.
Oh, please talk about your altars.
Yeah,
talk about the altars. Yes.
So what is your altar?
Yes, please. Come on.
So my altar is really a dedication to my spirits, my guides, my leaders, my teachers, master teachers, loved ones, my family and ancestral family, like people who have gone on before me in my literal lineage family. When I say lineage, my spiritual lineage and my physical lineage here in this space, right, that we're currently occupying, even though I think I'm occupying more than one. But so the altar is it's so powerful that it's immediate in the sense that you have an altar which begins with like a white cloth, right? You put the cloth on, you have all the elements, fire for your candle, I usually put some sort of plant or maybe some sort of rock for earth, or even sometimes sand. And then even crystals are on my altar as well. I also put, so you got all the elements, air, water, fire, and wind. And that's usually some sort of incense.
No. Air,
fire, water. Oh,
earth.
Earth. Thank
water.
you.
Yeah, okay.
So water is what I'm forgetting. So, and water. But you also need, like, incense you can use, too, as kind of your wind. Even though
Yes.
Okay.
Or weed smoke.
Yeah, that, too. You can put cigars. Or the ganja. Any of that on your altar. And it's just really you're paying homage to, like, and then you start to listen, and they start to tell you what they like. So when I cook for them too. When I bring gifts, I bring them a gift. I
was about to say, do you mind me mentioning this?
No.
Okay. So, but like y'all, she's serious. She's not joking. So when she came in, she said, "Let me just. I have to do my setup." And so, but I mean, I've seen you do this before. Remember, we're at the retreat.
Yeah. Even at brunch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Seriously, she like this is. She's not. This is not like I'm just saying this. No, she actually lives this for real. So she have her. So can you tell us about what you have here with you?
Okay. So anytime I can. So here tonight I have my water in a goblet glass, so that I can usher in the ancestors. And it's easier when you have some sort of conduit like water for your ancestors, your deities, the gods to be immediate, right? In addition to that, it's always a candle. So a basic altar is water and a candle.
Yep.
And so if you can have those two things, it sort of guides the light for the ancestors to know where the light, where you are. And they know to connect with you. In addition to that, I also brought my family list. So with me, I have a list of all of my ancestors based on my grandparents' lineage from both sides of the family. So they are here with me.
I love this.
And so I carry this a lot. Sometimes it's not just this big candle. I usually actually carry a smaller candle. But anyway, it's a way for me to honor them and for me to allow the blessing to flow. in a very natural way. So what I'm saying to them by having this is, I honor you, I respect you, and I thank you for being here.
I love this. Why do you have the ankh on there?
So the ankh, because so one of part of my lineage is Egyptian, Ethiopian, and Nigerian, and that's all come through spirit. And my first tattoo was an ankh, right? So the ankh really just represents spirituality for me, and more specifically Isis.
Ooh, girl, you know that's my boo.
That's your boo.
That's my boo.
Yeah, so she girl. And so I do feel like Isis introduced me to my current traditional work with Ifa. Ifa is a traditional African spiritual, like I said, it's an African spiritual tradition that basically takes us back to our roots. And it's based on being connected to your ancestors. It's based on knowing who you are. So my deeper sense of spirit really has come through my practices in Ifa that have said, hey, your ancestors are saying this to you. And the other deities will come as well. And then you realize that no matter what sort of lineage you're from, whether it's Greek or it's Ethiopian or it's Roman, a lot of those lineages at some level. I'm not saying they're the same. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you have a connection to your lineage that then helps to guide your life if you're open to it and you're listening. So for me, I didn't really know what it was, but I know that when I started to meditate, my Egyptian and Ethiopian people came to me first, who then led me to my Nigerian connection. And I say that because when you think about the history of even Ifa, it started in East Africa, but became very popular in West Africa.
Yep.
So the connection is there.
The altar thing. So I'm a water sign too. I'm a Cancer, and so I was really thinking about this. When I think about the altar for me is always my home. Every piece of my home for me is and it might over there, if you over there, went over to the east of my home. I have the citrine because I'm wanting next to to currency to flow. To keep the abundance flowing into my home, and I have Isis, I have crosses, I have so everything that has come to me. I have a very big Asian, particularly Chinese thing, and if you see it, it's all the first tattoo I got was in Chinese. The Dao Di Ching, I study that. So there's a lot of, but it's literally my home. I just and so I'm very what crystals are here, what things I haven't I'm very particular about it because it to me it is an homage to who I am.
Absolutely. So what Mia is saying that resonates and makes me remember that in the last 2 years probably my connection's grown stronger. Everything in my house is certainly connected to my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Life. Yes.
Just this week even I bought a bedspread because it was yellow. You know what I mean? It was that's so cute. Yep. So I bought a yellow, comforter because I'm like, this is Oshun. Oshun is my spiritual mother.
And you know what? But honestly, if you think about it too, what I love about going through the journey is when you discover more about who you are and kind of your history, your ancestry, whether that be spiritual or from your matter, when you find out, you look back and you're like, I had this around me the entire time, the Egyptian, when I think about the colors that I have around me, the blues, the Egyptian, I'm like, I'll learn something, I'll be like, dang, that's crazy, and I'll look up and be like, wait a minute. I'll do, I told Christy, I'll have stuff where it comes to me and I'll go look back and look at my journals and I'll either have written that several times, not knowing what it was, drawing the picture. I'm like, I've been drawing a Merkaba forever, but not knowing that's what it was. Yeah. So it's it's all there. Yeah. It's so it's all right there and it's so fun. You're like, that's why.
That's as simple as yellow was my favorite color and is my favorite color. That's so true.
Yes. Oh my God. It's just and it's so fun to just discover and especially when you're just like, damn. Do me a favor.
Make me laugh. Yes.
Move that candle. I don't want it to burn her lap. Yeah. you know. Okay.
Yeah.
Safety.
No, look, I'm like a computer with a melt
I'm
tip.
not sure cookie in my mouth.
Right. Okay, we had to do a quick little intermission. These ladies, you know, what they spiritual guys think they can park anywhere.
Because someone told us we could.
I don't know who would have done that. So we were talking about altars. So I want to switch subjects. I hope I don't sound crazy, but I'm going to switch a little bit. Okay. In one of our episodes, we talked about shadow work. What you want? We talked about shadow work and like really dealing with our duality, that dark side. Do you have any suggestions? I don't even have to ask her if she's done shadow work. Anybody that's standing in their power like this, I know for a fact they have been. No, like that's the beautiful thing about it. When you meet somebody that glows like this, I know what they've been through. The compassion is there. Be like, oh baby, ooh, were you down there with me? It's real. So, do you have suggestions for people? And like really just addressing, because I think it's so hard for people just like, it's some shit about me that's not all the way awesome. What?
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
so what are your suggestions for people?
Ooh. Mm-hmm. So are we making suggestions or like, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, this is a
Or you can tell us what you did. I mean, you know.
I feel like I just did, I committed to doing the work. And when I'm not sure about what that is, I ask my guides. So for the work, what that means for me is, and when I say I did the work, I mean, it wasn't pretty.
No.
It was hard and it was painful. And also, I would say doing the work for me was probably a good 2 years of asking, why this shit ain't working? This is real fucked up. Why did I do that? I'm so crazy. Right?
Y'all.
And so
the moments where you look back on something you did, you're like, what the fuck was I doing? Why though? Why?
Yes. Yeah. And I would say, wow, I feel like I cried so much. I am really on the other side not on the other side of like the shadow work doesn't. Like I have no more work to do.
Right.
But I've done so much of it at this point that now, I mean, literally, I even experienced, like we had a conversation very recently. I'm like, do you get to a point where you're kind of at the end? It's not like you're at the end. It's like the evolution just continues.
Yes.
Right? It's like the evolution continues. So even I was asking my guys, like, okay, so I want to travel to this place. Can we do this? Like, I'm like going on an event now as adventurous. Like, oh, can we do it? You know, just curious about that. But in that, there's still work. She showed me 2 things specifically, and it manifests for me in my body physically. So that's how I know for sure the work continues. And for me, one of the spots right now,
I was about to be like, where is it? Your sacral or your back?
It's my back.
I can see it. I can see it on you.
In that pelvic piece, like right where oh my god!
It look like I'm looking at when you said it. I'm like it's in between here and here.
Well, it's both.
It's like I'm like
one of my pains is like right in that sort of hip. I forgot that.
My hip bone's connected to my thigh bone. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's an actual name for that escapes me right now, but it is sort of where your hip bends in the front or sort of connects to your thigh and hip bone connect. That's one area for me. And then the back. On the left, this is all on my left side. Oh, yeah. So I was like, oh, we still got work to do. Yes, and even when I was going in deeply this weekend, that's where I came out like, I was like, we're going to do this weekend? Right? And I tried to take more assistance. And it was like, okay. I was like, oh, not right now?
Not really? Hey. When it's your time.
So timing is is also a part of it too.
You know what though? When you talk about especially doing the work, I remember one of the things that would be frustrating about when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I got some shit to do. I was trying to what do you call it? Like Speedy Gonzalez it. Like, oh, okay, well let me just get through all of this, you know, let me just hurry up and trying to like, okay, because I want this over with. And you know, it don't work like that. It's just like, oh, okay, well, guess what? We just discovered something you need to work on. Like, you know, take your time. Right? It's added on to it. Yeah, that's like I did. I was like, okay, well, come on, let's hurry up. You know how like I feel like, you know, when you're in school, somebody's like, I'm gonna fight you after school. Meet me in the yard at 3:15. I was never the kid that was waiting at 3:15. We fighting in the hallway third period. I ain't doing this. Stop playing with me. That's how I was with the shadow work. Third period. Let's go. They're like, no. After school.
It's a process. It's definitely a process. But when I say do the work, I know that sounds so almost cliche, right?
Thank you. I'm so glad you know, that was the next question.
For me, doing the work was taking a lot of classes, and what does that mean? Taking classes in almost everything. Anything I thought was interesting to my spirit, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna try that. Let me try that. So I just tried a bunch of things and really ended up getting to this ceremonial piece, which has been the most. Which has been the vast amount of my journey work has been there, because what that did for me was reveal to me who and what I am. And so with that, nothing revealed to me that more powerful than that. So it was like, that's what I am.
Can you repeat that? Nothing revealed to me more powerful than, did you hear it, y'all? Because this is the truth. So Christy, wait, I don't think I've ever asked you, what do you, when you say do the work, what do you call doing the work? Because, you know, we talk about this all the time. We say stuff and there's an assumption. You know, sometimes I like to bring us back like, wait, let's not assume that people know what that means. And we say that all the time. So what does it mean to you when you say, you know, do the work?
And we've talked about this before, and I hope you guys can hear me, because I know this mic, I feel like it's not sounding the way that I want it to sound, so I apologize. Anyway, doing the work for me means digging deep within, and for me that was through meditation. And for me, I looked for the areas in myself that I never wanted to deal with.
Oh, that's good.
Come on,
that's good.
Because I got to a place
that's it.
where, you know, I'm on my second marriage coming to an end, and I just like, okay, shit, I need to deal with me. Like, what is... Why am
That's
I on my
literally
failed?
The exact same conversation I have myself. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I can blame them, but I'm the common denominator. So let me...
Or why do I keep making decisions?
Yes, or why... But it does start with self.
Right.
I literally was like, okay, wait a minute. Everybody ain't crazy but you. So let's stop.
Right.
Let's and then it got to, okay, but why did you think that was okay?
Right.
Why did you choose that? Serve this.
Why? And that was huge for me. Like, why do I feel like I deserve this? Why do I feel like I deserve less than X, Y, and Z? And I had to deal with those, and that was really... It was like, the only way that I can explain it, it was like going within myself and then holding a mirror up to myself and forcing myself to look at that thing that I don't want to look at, that I want to hide and that I try to lie about. Yeah. And I actually had to look at it and say, like, okay, I know that this is an area that requires some work. I need to accept it. I'm not there 100%. I'm planning on getting there at one point, but I had to just deal with it and stop hiding it. And that was another thing too. Stop hiding.
Stop hiding. That's a big
like
piece.
I was just shoving stuff under the rug, like sweeping it under the rug, and at a certain point the rug can't hold it anymore.
Well, and especially when you're hiding it from yourself. That's the most destructive things. One of the most destructive things we do to ourselves, where we try to hide ourselves from ourselves. And because it's so easy to lie to other people. But the things that you have to do to yourself, to lie to yourself and convince yourself of your fucking lie, is a whole nother level of fucked upness. And then so now I have to dig back through the lie that I convinced myself of, because that's a straight up lie. Then I gotta dig through, like, damn, you really did all that to convince yourself just because you didn't want to deal with your shit. And then I gotta deal with the origin issue that I tried to lie and cover up. Right. So I think for me, doing the work was it was literally just stopping and looking at myself and just being honest. Like, that was fucked up. Like, okay, well, why do you think that? And I ask myself, when I tell, like, I ask myself every question. Like, every question. Anytime something came to my head, I stopped. I was like, okay, but what is that? But why did I think of that? What does that mean? Why am I crying? Why do I feel like I want to fight? Why? You know what I mean? I don't think I gave myself a lot of opportunity to question myself. It was just because I was too scared to, because I didn't want it to come out and be like, actually, no, you're the problem with that, or you did that, or why would you believe that, or why did you think that, or you know what I mean? And that's really difficult to deal with. But the best part, y'all, I'm gonna tell you for real. And dealing with your shadow work is learn forgiveness first.
Yeah.
Baby. Because once you learn forgiveness, especially for self, you can uncover anything. Yeah. Because there's all hurt people.
That's right.
And
so
heal people.
Heal people. So walking into that is just like, okay,
heal people.
It's true though. We talk about just being able to look at that is painful sometimes, and so what I realized, how I started being able to forgive myself, I realized that those are my that is so weird. That is part of the message for today. That was my tools to be able to cope, because I was just trying to cope, just trying to make it, just trying to vibe instead of thriving and living and stepping into the fullness of who I am, because the fullness of who you are is overwhelming as fuck.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? No, who? Wait, it's a thing. Sorry.
Yeah. And no, that actually brings me to my next question for you, Shannon, is how has your spirituality assisted you in forgiving? And your ability to forgive?
Yes, come on.
So that's a good one, because in terms of being able to forgive myself, it was hard because, what I project and sort of what I say, this culture grooming that happens, and that really begins at home, right? There's a culture grooming that exists, and then you walk out into the world and you still being groomed to go to college, do this, go to school, do this,
look like this,
yes,
talk like this,
talk like this,
absolutely,
be like. So it's like you are groomed so early on to not be yourself when that's the best thing you could be, but everybody's walking around not being themselves, and so it feels comfortable to walk around not being who you are, and it's because it's acceptable. No one's doing it, right? Especially specifically in this culture, it's always sort of this putting on, covering up, glorifying the outside. Never anything about an exploration. Never have I taken a class in any school about an exploration about myself. Ooh. Right? Never have.
Self-love should be taught in schools, you guys. Like real talk. And as parents, I was just about to be like, as parents, I definitely think that's our responsibility as well. And some would say that maybe I gave my daughter a little bit of too much.
No such thing.
Is amazing. She is like a superstar.
She loves her. She loves her some her. She loves her some her. She does.
I love it.
That's how she should. She should.
And I was not like that at all.
And you know that Beyonce song, little like brown,
the brown,
girl,
yes.
And you just think about a lot of brown skinned girls that are growing up not appreciating and loving themselves, and to see a young brown skinned girl loving herself, knowing, not thinking, not believing, but knowing she is all that,
and a bag of chips, good, black girl magic. Chips.
Yes,
Jay stays. She's like, "Mommy, my black girl magic is popping today."
That's right.
Like she say stuff like that.
I love her.
But I, oftentimes, I know what it felt like. Lucky for her that she was born with someone who was able to look back and see, damn, I didn't know anything. Felt so bad. I hated how I looked. I thought I was so ugly. I wanted to be the light-skinned girl, legitimately. And so people would tell, if a guy, especially they're like, oh, you pretty. When you don't know, when you don't believe and love yourself that you're pretty, you fall for any dumb.
You do. This is true.
And so by the time I had a kid, I was like, let me tell you, and I prayed for a brown-skinned girl. I knew long time ago I was going to have a daughter, and I was like, she's going to be a little brown skinned baby, because I'm about to show her how dope she is.
Empower.
Yes, and empower that.
Herself,
but
and I always tell Mia, I love how she loves her daughter.
I think my little kitty, she's fine. She's fine.
Oh, that's sweet.
My cutie patootie.
I want to add one little piece to that, though. I think that in the work that I do a lot of ancestral work, ancestral healing, and that's primarily because there's this cycle that permeates, our culture, our society, and our families, and our individual selves, me. And so in that, it's you have to go back to the cycles. What are the cycles of your life? What are the cycles that exist? The cycles that you carry on from your mother, your grandmother, your great grandmother. Like, well, this is some deep stuff.
Yes.
And you don't even know you like
seriously,
wrapped up in this war.
Seriously,
and you're like, oh, everybody been doing that? You mean? And I had to go back and really face things like there's a portion of my family, the side of my family, of one of the families they're pedophiles. I'm like, oh my God. Like, those are the things you have to face. You have to face that the women are put down in this family. They're not uplifted or empowered in any sort of way. And, and so it's in another family. So it's like all these different familial. And think about it. When I think about my immediate ancestors, that's 8 families, 8 last names, right? Wow. Because it's like, oh, my mother and her grandparents. These are their names because they have a mother and a father. That's 4.
Somebody just posted something about like the numbers and regarding your aunt Maja. I think she posted this thing. It's like it's the math of the it was beautiful. I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that. Just think about it. Just your like you go from your 1 and then there's 2 and from that 2 there's 8 and then from that 8 there's 32 or you know what I mean? Whatever. The numbers grow. And that's not, and it's not even that far up before you're like at 2,000 deep. So you're carrying the DNA, the cycle, the resilience, the pain, the trauma, and all the beautiful things, and the gifts,
absolutely,
the connection, all of that in your body by the time you get down to this 1. So that's the thing. So we are getting close to the end here. So what I want to do, we talk a lot. So one of the
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
One more. I'm sorry.
No, I have another question too.
Okay.
She likes to finish in an hour. No.
Okay. I had another question because I know we. Go ahead.
Okay. So I do have a question. So you talked about. I actually kind of have more than one.
Okay, well, we lied. We're not almost over. Continue, Christy.
So how did you connect with your spiritual guides? Because you talked about them. You mentioned, was meditation the only way?
No. So meditation is certainly the most consistent daily way that I connect with my guides and ancestors. My altar is another one. So I literally can sit in front of my altar and ask questions, and it happens immediately, or questions or answers come immediately, or maybe another question comes that would give me more clarity, or I can say, I just need your support. So that's one. Those are 2. In terms of my guides, I'm going to talk about the medicine. So I love to do spiritual ceremonies, which are very connected to like indigenous and shamanic and African cultures, where you take medicine.
With you on one.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, these ladies have certainly joined me this year.
Yeah.
We did it together. And I've been taking medicine now for 3 to 4 years, probably. For me, it started out, quarterly. And now I'm like, oh, in fact, more recently, it's like, oh, you need to take medicine more frequently because I have some things I need to do. And it includes the showing or the revelation that happens in medicine, and also the connection. So medicine is probably the most powerful way that I have.
That was
awesome.
Oh, yes. That
orgasmic.
Was an amazing experience. Like, I was literally jumping dimensions.
Oh, are you talking about the ceremony? I mean, the medicine.
Like the journey.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. I had a ball. I was trying to get y'all on my ride.
Come on, what you say? Rainbows for free.
Rainbows for free. What I
hilarious.
Truly believe at some level, and I understand that there's different modalities and there's different medicines. And I've had roughly 2 types of medicines, but I will say the medicine journey, I don't feel like you're spiritually connected until you've done at least one. Well, not to say spiritually connected. What I'm saying is you have not expanded your spiritual experience until you had a journey experience included in your spiritual journey.
Interesting. Wait, hold on. I got to think about this.
It opens you up to...
It does open you up. Because
it opens you up
never...
in ways.
I would have never come to conclusion.
Hold on.
When I said I now, I would have never come to a conclusion.
You know what? Hold on. Back up. When we did that, there was a portal open. What was going on during that time? Because I remember I had a lot of ascension issues. I was messed up for like a week after that. Like itching, teeth hurt, and they told me like just sit still. we working on something. It was not good, but it was something happening. It was the 29th, right? No, July, but it was something going on. Like, cause I feel like it was like extra.
Portal. I know.
It was something going on during that time. Yes, because it was extra. When I'm talking about, I'm looking at the Matrix. Like
that's exactly what I saw. Yes, looking at it. I'm like, I remember that too, and I have never had that experience since or before then.
Yeah. Now I'm like, it was something going on there. It was something extra because I was literally like, oh, okay. Yeah. I could literally see the illusion. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You can see all the dimensions and colors.
I could see I could see the dimensions, and
it was fascinating.
I was hopping back and changing things that I wanted to correct.
Yes, that's what it allows you to do.
Oh my gosh!
That's okay. So this is the thing. So we're third dimension. And when you look at I be nerding out on sacred geometry, like for real. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So in order to get to ninth dimension, which is back to the oneness, to the void, like honestly, you transcend through 6. But when you go to 6, you can change stuff in third dimension. So I honestly think when we were journeying, because it was like just a whole nother level of stuff because there are certain dimensions you can go through. Like the 8th dimension is you can see all time and space. That's where Akashic records are. So like you can see everything, like the before, the after, the future, do you know what I mean? So I think like when we were going back to places where you're like fixing stuff, I think you went 6.
Because what dimension did we go to? Was it 10?
We went to the 10th dimension. Some people went to the 10th dimension in that journey. I'm gonna say
all I know is that I tell you that I saw the entire Matrix. I was like,
my entire life as a blueprint, and I was like a huge house. Like think of like a building, and I was able to erase and expand and remove and switch.
Yes,
it was amazing.
Yes, that is.
I was like,
Chrissy's like, oh my God, do you know where we are right now? Seriously,
I'll be back.
Yes, that's exactly what you did. I'll be right back.
That is amazing. That like just makes my heart like glow to even hear this story, because I really think so much healing can happen in that space. Yeah. And it happens fast.
For certain.
And your power is further revealed to you. And I just think revelation, like literally revelation continues to happen and expand.
It was
in that space.
Honestly, just in terms of you just made me think about this because you're saying, it exposes, it helps you to expand your mind. I honestly, that's the first and only time I've ever done medicine. But I can definitely say that there was an expansion of understanding of who I am and what the biggest takeaway from that for me was you can come back here.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So it was like they just showed me like, okay, you here, and it was just like, oh, this is what this. Oh, okay, all right, this. Oh, whoop. And then so I don't know that I would be able to understand that at the level that I do now if it had not been for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I would have never figured it out. I'm just saying I don't know that I would have been there right now.
Speak to taking medicine more than once, right? Because I've taken medicine several times, three times a year, frequently. Each experience
is different.
And each experience grows me every time.
I totally believe that.
I thought I knew this. What?
Uh-huh.
Like, damn it.
I totally believe that.
It's so powerful to do. So it's
I think, and Christie and I have talked about this. I haven't really delved a lot into ancestral. It's just the way that my journey. It's not because it's just the way that my journey has gone. I will say that it's like. It allowed. It's I don't know. It was just. I can totally see how it could take me to another. It was like this took me from understanding guides and this and that to understanding literally the oneness. Literally, we all came from the same place. That was. that was the understanding of that just like blew the top off. So it's almost, so I never got a chance to like really go deep into my ancestry. I was like, I went straight to ET.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
And I used to say this all the time. What if we're just somebody's Sims game? I used to say this. I'd be like, would it be hilarious if we found out that we all just a Sims game?
Wow.
I'm like, this is a big ass experiment. Wait a minute, hold on, let me. And we're willing participants in that. And the other thing is understanding that you chose to be here during this time gives you so much power, because you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, I chose to be here for a reason. So that means I have purpose. I have meaning. I'm here to do something. And it starts to come.
It starts to form for you once you realize, like, wait a minute, I chose to be here. I'm here.
And I'm here. So, okay, so what, and then that helped me expand my journey too. Like, oh, wait, I chose to be here. Okay, so that means I got something to do. And I keep waking up. Mm-hmm. So that means I got something to do. Well, shit, well, what is it? Where are the clues? Which way do I go? And then when I start asking those questions, it's the question asking. They're like, oh, you sure? All right.
You want to know?
Go. And for me, it was writing. I would do channel writing. All this, girl, I have channel. They just and I would go back and read it and be like.
So I needed to hear that, because this whole year has been about me writing, and I've been, even though I'm so spiritually connected in this journey, but I've been resistant to the consistent writing. Like, I always write in my journal and have always done that. But there's a deeper level of writing I'm supposed to do around the spiritual work. And so you say that.
I do like channel. I do a lot of channel writing.
Scripting?
What does that mean?
Scripting is like, it's channeling while you're writing. It's like you're the vessel of doing the writing.
Yeah, I just call that channel writing. Yeah. So I literally just sit down and I start off, and I tell people do this all the time. Mm-hmm. Christy won't listen to me. I tell people do this all the time. Like, when you're learning to speak to your guides, sometimes, because I think we have an expectation of what it sounds like, or what we expect the room to go like this, and then some sounds that come is like, ooh. And so I think that writing what you're hearing is such a good way for you to be able to initially connect to the guy. So then you get used to what that's. So I know for a fact, when I go back and read something, I can show, like, the handwriting will be, I do not write like this. Like, it'll just be like long and pretty. My handwriting's terrible. My handwriting is terrible. But this will be like pretty and that real like script. And I'm like, I don't write like this. And just even the vocabulary is stuff that I don't necessarily speak like this. And sometimes I don't understand what it is until I'll go back. Like, one of the things that I wrote in November of last year, I just didn't understand what it meant until yesterday. Wow. And I just happened to go back and read, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay.
Excited.
But I'm like, okay, I don't get it yet, but I think it's such a good way to initially start to connect, so you know what it sounds like, what it feels like, and you're putting it, and I like writing. I like books, y'all. You know, so it's something about using your energy and yourself to channel something and put it on paper. There's permanency there. It's something about that that's just like, and then I get to go back to it. It's like you're writing your own little Bible.
And it's also like the level of spirit connected there.
Yes,
it's a high level of vibration to actually write. It's considered, like a higher learning. It's not as high as intuition, but that's just one of the ways your intuition is used or expressed. You made me think about something that, growing up in Southern Baptist Church, one of the ways that I connect more now as well is speaking in tongues.
Really?
So, yeah, speaking in tongues. If I have a moment I'm like in that I'm not connecting space, I get right to it. Let's go. I will speak in tongues, and after that, I know something is about to happen or coming. Okay.
I was about to be like, wait a minute. I swear I was about to be like, I think I did hear you.
No, I did that then. Really?
Yeah, you walked out though as you were speaking.
Okay. Was she doing this? Was she like, no, she was talking like this? Like she.
Oh, I've got chills. Yep.
I just, like, soon as you said that, I'm like, I just saw it in my head. You was like talking like yeah. I remember that now.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Wait, I have one more question before you do yours. Okay. Purpose, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you understand your purpose?
I do, but I would say that realization, even though this has been a 10-year journey, like the understanding and knowing of that, probably within the last 12 months, the last year is when that really
Fascinating
grew for me as like when you sort of what they call digging your heels. Mm-hmm. You can't, and I'm standing there and you can't tell me nothing about my purpose. Yeah, that's where I am now.
So is it, and within the last 12 months, you understood how you're supposed to be the expression of that purpose?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
So so I knew that I was sort of I knew I was a healer. Like I knew that part for years now.
Right.
But I didn't know how that would come about or be expressed and how that power would be shown.
And third dimension, the life we live. Yeah,
right.
I get that. Yep.
But now I know that I'm a healer of family trauma, ancestry, and so much so that my cousin this weekend came to me and was like, "I need you to do this for my family." I was like, "What?" Mm-hmm. You know, but that's the gift, and she's on the other side.
Gotcha.
And that's the gift. I'm like, and I fully stand in it now. I know.
I love that.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I love that.
And so what that does, though, long term, though, is that starts to align and level out where families are. Think about where families are currently in terms of how much trauma, how much shame, how much. I mean, it's so many levels. It's not saying that families are bad or all bad, but I'm saying those things that we can clear to make better and to make right, and to offer forgiveness and to offer healing. Because we just don't know, because we've been carrying this cycle of pain and trauma, right, for quite some time. And it even goes back to, like, even just us being transported for us here in this country, just the transportation of the ones who actually jump off the ship.
Through us. Yes,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? And so that is a spiritual vibration that we all are operating in. You know, whether we make that, what part of the agreement, we can also change the agreement. That's what I like. Is now we're at the point where we can renegotiate the contract. Mm-hmm. That's what the power is. Like, oh, that was my contract. Let's rethink this.
But actually,
let's renegotiate that.
More.
Yeah. Actually, you need to add a clause to this.
Can we amend this?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What you got, Christy?
All right, this is my last question.
Okay.
Okay. This is kind of just a basic general question, but how do you work with your chakras on a regular basis?
So chakras on a regular basis. I started my meditation most days with sort of a chakra clearing and opening. Mm-hmm. And what that looks like for me is I may hold a crystal in my hand, and that's always the first 10 minutes. Because once I'm in the first 10 minutes, I can just go on and I just can go on forever or ask questions that I want from that point. That's just a way to sort of open me up and get me in. I'll do it either, like I said, a meditation. I go to YouTube, 10-minute guided morning meditation. That's what I do. And I sometimes will hold a crystal, but not every single time. And I just open up my chakras, or I kind of put my hand in front of each chakra and rotate my hand to raise that, clockwise until I feel like it's open. There are other times that I could just get right in. So it just kind of varies, I guess, where I am vibrationally.
Do you feel like you're at the point where you can feel when your chakras are off before you try, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if the other small things that I do, little things like, oh, I need to wear yellow today. Oh, I need to wear green today. And I try to do things just connected to the colors to feel like I'm more connected on a more immediate basis if I feel like something is close. Two areas that I feel like, I wouldn't say they're always open, or my first and second chakra, it's just always...
Your first and second, or your 7 and 6?
My crown and my third eye are always open. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the two that I can count on. The rest in my heart at this point, but my heart wasn't that way.
My heart stay. She like, come on.
Right. But the rest of them take a little more nurturing and care and consistency with them. So yeah.
Interesting. Thank you. Okay, so hold on. So every week we do like a if you remember nothing else, remember this. Like,
okay.
Kind of like a little major takeaway.
Okay.
Christy, do you want to go into that? And after Christy's done, I want you to impart just one more piece of your wisdom on the audiences. Like, if there's one thing that you would want them to take away from this conversation, what would it be, Christy? So I think you got a couple seconds to think about it. Christy.
What am I doing?
Takeaway. Focus on your
takeaway.
Thank you.
Okay, so the takeaway on this discussion and the purpose of why we brought Shannon in is because this is just a reminder that we each have a purpose which determines our spiritual journey. Focus on your path with full intention, an open heart, and gratitude, and watch the universe work in your favor. And that is the most powerful place that you can ever be. And your path is your path. And just remember that each person moves differently at a different pace. So don't compare your journey to someone else's.
Absolutely.
I mean, you hear Shannon's story. It's completely different from what I've experienced, completely different from what Mia's experienced. But you know what? It is all and still good and perfect for her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Being different doesn't mean it's bad. It is perfect for her. So
Wait, let me just add to that. Also, something to remember, you guys, just because something is not right for you does not make it wrong. We really need to learn how to allow people free will and to be who they are. Because when you start doing that, you start noticing that people just allow you, because like, I'm just be you. Yeah. And so when you do that, people, that freedom, they allow you to be who you are and understand. It's a lot of stuff I don't understand, but that don't mean it's wrong. It's just like, okay, I
don't get it.
I don't get it, but okay.
Yes.
You know? Sorry, go ahead, Kristen.
But I mean, just in that comparison is the thief of joy. And so the whole
fear-based output.
Right. And just the whole purpose of this platform is for us to experience our true and authentic self and to be and feel safe being in that, living in that, sharing in that, and just being. So, all right.
Yes. So, Shannon, tell us, what would you want? What's your, if you remember one thing, remember this. What's your major takeaway?
I would say the one thing that I would like to impart to the listeners is that is to honor themselves. So honor yourself, because if you honor yourself, then you are also honoring your truth. And in honoring your truth, it will begin to expand your life goals, dreams, opportunities in a way that will make you feel good and seek guidance from your guides, masters, teachers, ancestors. I think it's important. Once you start to honor yourself, those things, all of it begins to flow how it's supposed to flow for you. In your walk, it's your walk, you know. So.
I like that.
Me too.
I like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, man, this was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So we have a couple. Wait, by the way, you have a wonderful voice for radio. Anybody ever tell you? Does she have a great voice?
Okay.
You do. You have such a great voice. You make okay. I have to speak like an adult now because I'm such a kid. Like, how old are you, Mia? I don't know. So I am going to this week. Wait, hold on. Do you want to do the? You want me to do message first? Okay, I'll do that at the end. So temple work this week. So we do this thing, Shannon, you know, well, you've heard, we call it temple work, and, boy. This is very simple and also very difficult for some of us. What I want all of us to do this weekend, yes, in your journals, yes, in your journals.
She's talking to me.
Yeah. And honestly, and we talk with this, if you have a blue stone, any type of blue stone, lapis, aquamarine, soda light, thank you, blue calcite, you know, that is throat chakra, and that's really about vibration and your vibration and putting out. I want you to take a couple minutes just to hold that, and we're gonna try some. We want you guys to try some freestyle writing today, just knowing and understanding. And this is how you're gonna start this, and just say, I accept who I am. I love who I am. I am that I am. Sit there, hold it, and allow yourself to start writing. Whatever comes to your mind, I do not care if, anything, let it flow. Get to a place where you are not judging yourself, where there's not a judgment of, oh, should I say, this is just for you. Whatever you have to do, whatever space you have to do, if you have to go in a closet to get away from your kids, whatever you got to do, this is just for you, accepting who you are. You hear how powerful this woman sounds, you guys, because this is what it sounds like, the vibration of when somebody knows who the fuck they are. It's a different conversation. So, you need to start having these conversations with yourself. So allow that to happen, okay? So that's your tempo work for today. This week.
That's awesome. Yeah. The writing piece.
Yes. Well, but I'm excited about this crystal.
Crystal of the week.
Bang, bang, bang. Wait, stop. Can I record you saying crystal of Okay.
She does me.
This is so cute.
As she gives me like all the wine.
Right.
And then when I acted full, she was like, "Wait, hold up, let me get my camera." It's all right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But okay, so crystal of the week. So I asked Shannon her favorite crystal, and she sent me a handful.
Wait, before you're gonna tell us all of them she sent, because I'm super curious, because it tells you a lot about a person and their crystals. This and what's in their grocery cart. So go. I'm dead serious.
The list of her crystals.
I'm super curious. Yeah. Do you remember?
Do you know offhand?
I think so. There were rose quartz, Super 7. And I said a green one too. I don't know if I said malachite.
It was a green one.
Really? Mm-hmm. I was off completely. Super 7, yes. I was guessing Bumblebee, some Jasper family ones. Bumblebee. I was thinking like Bloodstone Jasper.
Clear quartz, malachite.
Ooh, girl, I love me
She
some
said
malachite.
anything prosperity.
So I was thinking greens, because I do a bunch of yeah.
I love malachite. Look, I'm like, you see my little owl? That's one of my
too.
spirit animals right there. That's a malachite owl.
Oh. And Alice one of your
Girl, I have.
animals? Yes. Got it.
Girl, I send her up all the time. She shows me everything.
A lot of
I just go up and be like, show me.
really.
Oh, it's like having a what do you call those things? A
I'm
drone.
more recently drawn to owls, but I got a new spirit animal last week, so. But it wasn't an owl. It was another tiger. I got a
Really?
Bengal tiger last week, but a jaguar is my.
I was about to say, we talked about this. I got a
Yeah.
literally, I went to
You gotta
Clark
say that,
Atlanta,
yeah.
Black Panthers. I have Black Panther Award, which was for the I'm gonna toot my own horn. Black Panther Award was awarded to the one supreme athlete of the school, both male and female. There was only one. Mama has the Black Panther. Okay, I'm just saying. No Black Panther. Okay. Okay, but yes, I like the Black Panther and the owls.
Yeah.
So what's the crystal you chose?
Okay, so the crystal that I chose is Super 7.
I love it. Did you bring yours, Shannon?
I did.
Let me see your Super 7.
So Super 7 is also known as Sacred 7. And
Yes.
this is on her list, as I mentioned.
Is this mine?
That's mine.
It looks just like that.
And we haven't covered this crystal yet, so the timing, I think, couldn't be more perfect. But before I move into the description, I just really want to say that this crystal, I'm going to say, is a little bit more advanced. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
It took me, I've had this thing for a long time. Continue. It took a while for me and this thing to...
Okay. Because I think some people will understand, like, what do you mean, like, an advanced crystal? It has a lot of energy, and it's powerful. But I do have to say that once you connect to it, it's actually a very, very super cool crystal to work with. All right, so Super 7, it's considered a powerhouse crystal, and it basically received its name because it contains 7 different crystals in one. Amethyst, I can't pronounce this, but I'm going to try. Cacoxenite. Yeah, I think that's it. Clear quartz. Is it geothite? Yeah, geothite, rutile, smoky quartz, and lepidochrosite.
You got that from Lotus in?
Ooh, I said that.
I did.
And so this is a very rare crystal which can be found in Brazil, and each crystal in Super 7 represents the 7 chakras, which is why this is such a really great crystal and powerful. It's also considered a grounding stone, and is said that it doesn't require any cleansing. So the spiritual properties of Super 7 is that it's considered the key ingredient to assessing the spirit realm and unlocking the knowledge and ancient beings within. The high frequency of the stone helps one attune their energy to that of celestial beings, allowing one to better understand the meaning and purpose of their soul. Super 7 helps provide answers to questions one may have for an entire lifetime, while also ushering.
I'm gonna fight you. We are going to. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about this, about these extra consonants in people's words. Are you gonna have some scrimp from the street? Oh, sorry.
So it helps to usher in the ability to connect with one's past life experiences, and these past life episodes contain ancient knowledge one has been able to carry with them for multiple lifetimes. This unique blend of minerals helps bring this knowledge to the forefront so that it may be unlocked and used in one's current life. So, working with this Super 7, it has, I'm not going to read the rest. Shannon, I would like to hear how you use this crystal and how this crystal has helped you in any way.
Wow. So the Super 7 for me is one of my favorite crystals because I can feel the power of it when I hold it in my hand. Mm-hmm. I can feel my vibration, actually move when I have this crystal in my hand. Right now I'm holding, all three of us have a Super 7 here in this room right now. Mm-hmm. I'm holding mine and Mia's, and immediately I can feel like things open up. I can feel the connection. It's immediate for me when I have this crystal in my hand. Sometimes I also lay it on my body, like on one of my chakras. Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to, feel the connection in that area. So that's how I work with it. I meditate with it. I also, sometimes I have it near my bath, but not in the water. Like I may have it in my hand, or I may have it kind of sitting there on the side of the tub. When I'm bathing, because it's another powerful space for me. So, and the Super 7 also makes it to either my altar often for charging, and to also do work there with other crystals and my ancestors. And then if it's not there, it's going to be in the basket basking under the moonlight.
Yes. Thank you. I was going to say, speaking of which, there's a full moon tomorrow. So charge your crystals.
Oh, got it.
Charge your crystals. So get them out. Yeah, my window seals
full of crystals.
Oh, yes.
I have a little basket. I put them in and put it out there.
Yes, I love that. So for me, Super 7. Shout out to the Lotus Den. Our spiritual sister owns the Lotus Den. It's a beautiful store in South Loop, and I think that's where we all got our super. I know that's where I got mine from. I know that's where you got yours from.
I got mine there too.
So this actually, I was at the Lotus Den when this is the first time I heard about these. I had no idea what it was, and the first time I picked it up, I was like, "Oh shoot!" Like I was not, I just wasn't prepared for.
That's exactly what happened to me.
But I didn't know how to work with it though yet.
One of the students from my crystal class took a video of her cat coming around Moldavite, and the cat literally
jumped up.
Yes, it was shocked. It's.
No, that's how this crystal is.
It's not strong, but it's powerful.
It's very powerful. And so, was that a month ago we were in Asheville?
Was it that long already?
So Christy and I went to the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we went chasing waterfalls, literally hiking and stuff, doing a little spiritual cleansing, and we came upon this stream, and I had my Super 7 on me, and Christy, I think you had your limerine, and I put it in the water, and just the natural spring water down from the mountain. You guys, when I tell you this, seriously, just whatever happened in that water. This is I did a reading the other day, and I was just holding this when I was talking. I scared myself. I was like,
"Wow!
Oh, okay." And it's so. It looks like if you took all your crayons and they melted. Right. Yep. That's what it's. So it's not necessarily like a stone where you would be like, it's like, oh, that's so pretty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It damn near looks like mud. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when I tell, I can't hold it for too long.
I love that stone.
It's a great stone. It's a beautiful, but to me, it's a beautiful stone because of the energy off of it. Yeah. But it's not a stone that you would look at and be like, oh, that's cute. I want that. It's not one of those. But I like it a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
Charge your crystals, guys.
Yes.
Charge 'em up.
I'm so excited. So we are almost done.
Almost. Message for the day.
Message. So this is interesting. I didn't know how this conversation was going to go, so I did do a little bit of a message with the Super 7 because I knew we were going to talk about Super 7. I'm like, oh, let's see. So I wish I had my glasses. Hold on. All right. So let me see what your glasses. Let me see if they work. That's what Actually, that works. Wait, let me wipe them off a little bit. Things are good when you're getting grown when people are passing spectacles around. Damn, are we there? That's what we're doing.
I know, right?
That's what we're doing. Oh yeah. Oh wow. This is good. Okay. Okay. So I did a meditation today with the Super 7 and asked for a message for the group, for the crew. So here we go. Purpose came up. Says the discovery process is part of the preparation necessary to be able to live in the fullness of who you are. So when we're going through the process of discovering our purpose, they're saying there's a reason for that discovery process because it prepares you for the bigness of who you are. Okay. So the preparation is necessary because we've been indoctrinated to hold limiting beliefs. But once you get just a glimpse of all your glory, it can be overwhelming. So discovering how magical you are is amazing. But when you are in alignment with your soul's purpose, it feels different. So a lot of people have asked this question. I love this because it's like your words and actions feel guided. The knowingness of the feeling is undeniable. So when you're asking, how do I know? You won't have to ask. You'll know. It's just like, oh, I know that I'm being guided. So this is why oftentimes we go into what seems like solitude because it's hard to explain, and sometimes we don't have the language to describe the feeling. So no words to describe this knowingness except for just this knowingness. So you're being asked to be joy-filled in the discovery of your purpose. Don't look at the discovery process of your purpose as a job. Like, let me figure it out. It's like it's a joy-filled journey, and be grateful for the journey. Once you get to the purpose, like, oh my God, amazing. But the journey is so freaking fun, y'all. So to be grateful for that, and so. Courage. So many people think that when you think of courage, it's something that we summon when we're in danger. Only when we're in danger. Like, I need the courage to get through this, but
we need courage every day.
Come on. But the courage to summon, but the courage that you summon for yourself and your own knowingness is altogether different. Having the courage to accept who you are and walk in it. It's more than a notion. It's not that easy. And I think Shannon hit on that a little bit today. Like, it is, and Chrissy even brought it up. It's just like, okay, sometimes I hide stuff from people. I don't say, like, seriously, like, I don't know that my parents even know that I don't want my mom's head to pop off her. I love her. But sometimes summoning the courage for yourself. Oh, she's chewing. Summoning the courage for yourself is different and it's difficult. So stand in the belief in your instincts. Be courageous and bold for yourself. And so it's a new moon tomorrow. Tomorrow. And so, on new moon. No, I just lied to you all. It is a full moon tomorrow.
Full moon, yeah.
And full moons, we release things that no longer serve us. Right. So, you guys, you've been asked. This is about transition. It's called the harvest moon. So some of y'all might not like this. It's called the harvest moon. But what this means for a lot of us is the harvest of the seeds that we've sown.
That's right.
It's called karma. Right. So that's going to mean something different for everybody else. So for everybody, so whatever your karma is, be that good or indifferent or whatever, just know that it's the harvest moon. It's time. It's coming. So release the things that no longer serve you, and the things that no longer serves you before you were awake and intentionally seeking. So there are things that we held on to before we knew to even start asking the question, the awareness of who I am. And if you listen to this podcast, there's an awareness in your seeking, no matter where you are in your journey, okay? Yes. So, you let go of the fear and judgment, because those were tools that you used to feel safe. And once you realize that holding on to the fear and judgment is keeping you where you are, and if you're ready to move forward or ascend, however it is that you feel that you need to release the fear and judgment of yourself and honestly of other people. And some of us, this karma that's coming in is because of how we acted out of fear to other people, okay? So that's it. So once you and here's the thing, once you release the things, this fear and judgment, make way for new gifts, make way for new understanding, make way for new awareness. But there's some stuff that you have to let go, and be prepared for shock and awe. Tell yourself that miracles happen to me every day. Make miracles something that is a part of your life every single day, because you can. Okay? All right. That's all I got to say for the folks today.
All right.
All right.
We have a question, so we're starting to add this.
Here you go.
Questions coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So a question from one of our listeners: how to best interpret reoccurring dreams? Also, how to really tell if a blocked chakra is now open? Do any of you guys
Ooh, Shannon,
What was the first question about dreams? Say that one again.
How to best interpret reoccurring dreams?
Wow, I have a lot of times in terms of, I look at like symbolism in a dream, especially if it's reoccurring. So looking at the symbols, what things do you see over and over? Also, colors make some sort of correlation for me. And then a lot of times the dream is not literal. So it's always some sort of spiritual connection there. And when I say that, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example because it's just the first one that popped in my head. If you, for example, see someone laying in a casket, it does not mean that person is going to die.
Yes.
Maybe a portion of themselves that needs to be released is going to.
Because when I say I have happily lit a couple of parts of myself. Bye-bye, die, funeral, gone.
So maybe it's a release, or something along those lines. Or they might be moving.
Yeah. Or an end of a chapter, which means that a new chapter is going to... There are so many different things.
Well, I would tell you this, for dreams, any dream that you remember that's reoccurring, understand that that's a message for you to pay attention to.
That's
like real talk.
Yeah.
So anything, and I mean, I have actually a big book, like that relationships one, that's dreams. And so there's you can Google it. Like, I saw... There's, like, for instance, if people have dreams of snakes, they might freak out, but, snakes are about transitioning and shedding something old and coming into a new, because that's what snakes do. So there's a lot. So you could look it up, but I would tell you emphatically, anything that you keep having over and over,
it's definitely
it's a message.
Absolutely.
And if you keep having it over and over, that means that you haven't paid attention to it yet. They're trying to get a message across, so help them. But Christy, I know, especially with the chakra ones, I'm sure you have some great advice for the people.
Yeah, so, and I've shared this before, actually when we had our chakra episode, but the best way for me to tell when a chakra is blocked, so when I meditate, I visualize going from my root chakra up to my crown, and I visualize a vortex spinning in whatever color that chakra is. If I can't visualize it spinning clockwise, I know it's blocked. Whenever I can visualize it, it's fine.
Okay. So I think that's advanced for people. So how can someone who's just understanding chakras and and I'm trying to remember. I was just about to be like, but I'll tell you this. So if you go back to our chakra episode, we talk about what the chakras, how they manifest themselves when they're blocked, emotionally and physically. So for instance, if you're dealing with a fear of security and you're worried that why are you here, or that you might not have enough financial, or you're thinking in lack, that's most likely your root chakra is being blocked. If you feel completely disconnected from spirit, you don't understand, like all this, like I don't understand, I feel like I'm alone in the world, most likely your crown is shocked. And I'll tell you this, if your crown is blocked, 9 times out of 10, everything else. Yeah. Like third eye is a little different, but your crown, because so if your crown is blocked, then that means that everything else is blocked. But if you go back to that episode, and maybe we should probably post something where we could do a chart where like this chakra means this, and if it's blocked or there are some issues with it, this is how it manifests itself, just to give somebody a quick cheat sheet. Mm-hmm. But that's how you can tell, honestly. So they all do have different meanings, and they manifest themselves differently in your life. Mm-hmm. So whatever is happening, and like literally physical manifestations, like for real. So that's one way. I can't think of another way right now, but being able, like now I'll call Christy, I'll be like, something going on with this one. I can feel it now, but before I would not have been able to do that. If I had that little chart, something to cheat, she'd be like, oh, that's why I feel like this. Let me get this together. That would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Probably just figured it out.
Did the work. Research.
Did the work. Research.
Did the work. Research.
Did the work. Okay.
Oh, dang, I was about to get into it. I was about to start.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got my
eyes closed. We both have the eyes closed.
Right, I was about to start freestyling.
Well, you guys, once again,
Thank you.
Thank you
for the fun. Shannon, thank you.
It's lovely. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm so glad that Shannon came here.
Listening to this tonight,
Yes, you guys, this is
good.
And I honestly really hope that there was something here for everybody. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So we are. I think this has been really interesting. I'm so glad we did this. I swear, every time we have an episode, and we're just, I learn something new every single time. So I so appreciate this. Now I hope, because it is definitely our intention, because we definitely set intentions for our podcast, that it is our intention to help people wake up to who they are. So I am going to ask. First of all, thank you guys. We are such in gratitude for being able to serve in this way. Please follow us on Instagram at
and subscribe.
2 Queens Crystal Things. I'm sorry, you guys. We've had wine. Abby. So please follow us there. We have some new exciting things coming very soon. I'm so excited. So thank you guys. And if you want to get your good chakras clean, know what's going on with those chakras, get them cleaned and cleared, levitate up off your bed. Follow Christy at Christy R. Edwards. And that is Christy with an I-E. Did I say? Because I'm not fooling with you. This is Christy R. Edwards. Okay, please follow her.
Yes.
If you want to travel to the 8th dimension and know what's going on in your Akashic records, and or need a spiritual coach, follow me. We have some
Unleashed 444
angel numbers, guys.
Mia is the truth, you guys. She is the truth. The reason why I am here.
Aww.
One of the reasons why I am here.
Oh, you're gonna make me all like
really sweet.
I cry a lot.
Honestly, if it was not for her, I would not be here, because I would have still been trying to hide from myself. So, I mean, honestly, that's why
like, seriously, I tell people all the time, like, I really feel like my purpose. Yes, I'm a fan.
Girl, you better G it up.
I'm a crybaby. I'm a Cancer. Leave me alone. Oh. So anyway.
Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can make her cry some more. So
no, stop. I'm a big girl.
No, so I told her,
such a big girl.
This podcast, we have to do it, and I was like, it's gonna be good. So.
She was right, and I love it. I literally look forward to recording day. So, thank you guys. Shannon, can you please? Do you mind sharing your IG for the peoples, or she's like, stay out of my business? Which one you want?
Yeah.
She's like,
It's pretty simple. It's my name. It's Shannon Lorinda. I know it's kind of old fashioned, but Shannon Lorinda. Yeah, that's my IG.
It is not
And
old-fashioned.
Lorinda is Lorinda.
So follow the queen over here, you guys. Thank you so much. Share, tell your friends about us. We hopefully will have some. We're going to definitely have some more interviews. Shannon, thank you for being our test baby. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you all so much too.
Thank you. If you have any questions for us you'd like to answer on the next show, you can send them to us at info@twoqueensandcrystalthings.com. We love you guys. Until next time, beautiful people.
Light,
Peace.
love,
And soul. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry.